on the first base. Good pitch, Henneman. Good sinker.
Didn't lay off with 2 strikes.
This simply makes sense. You don't have many good chances here, do you? I mean, there's not a lot of things you're real happy doing in this situation. But Clark's bat is heated up again, and you'd probably rather take your chances, Henneman to Gonzalez.
Well, the Tigers, we've talked about this before, have one other item going for them. Is the fact that one option isn't quite as evident with Juan, and that is, even though the bases are loaded, he's a swinger. And so the danger of walking in a run is not as great with Juan.
Well, Greg,
of course, the danger of giving up a grand slam home run is even greater with Juan than it is with Will, but we'll see.
Meanwhile, as Gonzalez steps in, remember those Tiger mistakes on the bases early in the game?
Rangers hope they can come back and bite them.
Yep. Rangers hoping those come back to haunt Detroit.
Gonzalez is hitless in this game. He has flied to left, flied to right, flied to left. His 3 fly balls have been on the fists. And he had a sizzler that went through the wicket of third baseman Fryman. Strike on the first pitch. This is where Juan's biggest problem is he almost tries too hard. He just needs to get the fat part of the bat on the ball and hit it hard and then take his chances. No balls and a strike. 1-1. Six to 5 Detroit. 1 run in, bases loaded. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Mike Henneman, third Tiger pitcher.
If you're Henneman, this is where you want to make it happen. You don't want to go down 2-1 in the count. You want to be ahead of Gonzalez so you can tease him ahead in the count.
He's ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Now if you're Henneman, you got the choice. You got the fastball that moves back in. You got the slider that breaks a little away. You're going to keep the ball down, and you probably don't want this to be in the strike zone. You want to tease Gonzalez and hope he fishes down in the count with, as you said, the pressure on him.
1 ball and 2 strikes. There's a shot! Way back! It's up! It's over! A grand slam out of here! Great managers get burned by great players, and Juan Gonzalez with a grand slam home run, his 3rd of his career, his 12th homer of the year, has put the Rangers on top by 3, and the curtain call. Dean Palmer. And Henneman has not been effective against the Rangers for the 2nd time in 2 outings in '94. Gomez from the hole. Base hit.
Greg, remember the problem with Chris Carpenter making pitches too good ahead in the count? That was a pretty good pitch, little over knee high.
But it was in the middle. It wasn't breaking away.
Exactly right. He put it over the middle. That is not where Henneman wanted that ball.
Sparky Anderson says, that is it, Mike. I might need you in game 2. Oh, it's good to see the smile on Juan Gonzalez's face. You know, he's up to 62 runs batted in off a slow start. And now, another pitching change for the Tigers, who once led 6-0. The Rangers lead 9-6, and we have yet another game to play, folks. It's going to be a fun night. Greer will be the hitter, and he'll face a new arm as the spirits have been lifted of the 45,000 plus fans in the ball yard tonight. Well, we told you on the open that in games between these two teams, it's not who starts first, it's who finishes fastest. And that has been the case. Buddy Groom is the new pitcher, and he'll take his warm-up as Greer will be the 9th man to bat here in the 8th. You know what else, too? Now, obviously, Hinky's going to have to close it out of the 9th, but up to this point, who would have thought the bullpen has saved the day?
Well, Gonzalez is almost without question going to get the star of the game, I would think, for a slam in the 8th to win it. But the star of this game probably is Chris Carpenter.
Absolutely. Let us take a look at the home run that brought in 4. Guys intentionally to pitch to me, Sparky. Here's Greer. Rusty takes a ball. Groom, the 4th pitcher for the Tigers. Henneman, 2/3 of an inning, and 3 of the runs.
You know, from Henneman's standpoint,
there's going to be a base hit for Greer. Ranger hit total is up to 13.
I was going to say, from Henneman's standpoint, he's out of the inning with no damage. In fact, not much excitement if Gomez steals the hard hit ball by Fry and turns 2.
Right, and that's again where we got to point out the statistics don't always tell you the story. You can say the Tigers are the best fielding team in baseball, but it's when you make your errors it makes a difference, because another Ranger scored earlier because of a Tiger error. They don't make many, but those both hurt them severely.
Well, all those runs are unearned.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, all 3 of them that Henneman gave up. So he's given up 5 unearned runs to the Rangers in 2 appearances. There's a base hit by Lee. And here comes the runner from third. Palmer will score. Going to third base is Greer, and Manny has 2 hits. Both in this inning. He got it all going with a double. That's the 4th unearned run that goes to Henneman. So that's 6 unearned runs in 1 1/3 innings. That's an amazing number. 6 unearned runs in 1 1/3 innings against the Rangers in 2 games. And the runner at third would be Grooms, and that would not be unearned for him if it scores.
You know, this is sort of like
Rodriguez.
Like a football game.
Fair ball. That'll take care of it as Cecil makes the play.
Football game. First half 6-0 Detroit. Second half 10-0 Texas.
Rangers get a big hand as they have a big 6-run 8th. We go to the 9th. And the Rangers need 3 outs to win the first of 2, and the bullpen door will open, I believe, and we'll be back in just a moment.
The best of the American League and the best of the National League. Both are on the best team on TV.
There's a fly ball, deep right field. It is over, and it is out of here. That one is deep to right center. It is up. It is gone.
The Astros and Rangers are pure excitement on HSE, the best team on TV.
Whoa, did he hit it?
The gateway to the gold opens, the U.S. Olympic Festival, where America's Olympic hopefuls will compete for medals. 3,000 athletes, 37 sports, 9 days, one magnificent city, all going for gold. The 1994 U.S. Olympic Festival in St. Louis, where our future stars will earn their stripes. Beginning Saturday night at 11 Central on HSE.
Hey, baseball fans.
HSE wants you to watch
The Rangers.
and the Astros.
So you can go coast to coast.
Coast to coast,
One lucky fan wins 2 trips.
2 trips,
Win a trip to New York
and to San Francisco.
to see the Yankees and Rangers.
And the Giants and the Astros.
The winner goes coast to coast for fantasy play-by-play.
All you have to do to win is watch the games.
Watch the games.
Just watch the Rangers.
And the Astros
To go coast to coast.
with HSE Baseball. The best team on TV.
Well, Juan Gonzalez, grand slam home run, is the author of our Sherwin-Williams play of the game, as the Rangers ended up adding a couple more after that, but the Rangers take the lead 9-6 on the grand slam. Well, they added one more after that, and with a 6-run 8th, lead 10-6. Gonzalez getting a hand from the fans as he backs into his position, and Tom Henke, not in a save situation, but in a close-the-door situation, comes in to pitch here in the ninth.
To try to save the first major league win for Darren Oliver. Oliver didn't win last year, had no decisions in 27 outings this year, 28 now. This is his 28th. Here comes Henke, and Henke appears to be regaining the feel for the forkball. Since coming off the disabled list with the back problems, he's earned saves in his last 2 appearances.
Monday in Minnesota, he really didn't pitch that well. He gave up a lot of line drives in that last inning, but he pitched very well on Tuesday. And now he's going to come out here and get some work here in the ninth, which is his favorite inning. And the Rangers will see Fryman, Fielder, and Gibson. But they have a 4-run lead, and that sure makes a big difference.
And he's facing his favorite team to save games against. Tom Henke has had a career against Detroit. 25 saves against the Tigers alone. That's his highest single team save total.
Fryman an RBI single back in the first. If you are wondering, Kevin Brown started the game, went only 2 2/3 innings. Norman, I talked on the open how the starters had to give the Rangers some innings because the bullpen had been working a lot. They have a lot of games in a few days, and they had not been pitching well. Well, the first game started, didn't give any innings, but the bullpen has been superb so far, and it's no 1 ball and 1 strike.
How could we have ever suspected that Carpenter would give the Rangers more innings than Brown?
And only 1 run in 4 1/3. That was a home run by Gibson. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gonzalez continues to be hot. He only has the 1 hit in this game, but he's hit 3 homers in his last 4 games, 9 runs batted in the last 4, and you just saw his 3rd career grand slammer. Home run, by the way, his total is now 12. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Low and no go. 2 2. Carpenter threw 75 pitches, which was 20 more than Kevin Brown. Wouldn't have figured that either. This isn't good. You don't want to have to throw a bunch of pitches here, especially the leadoff man. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Because if this is the veteran Henke, he's going to give him a pretty hittable pitch here on 3-2 with a 4-run lead. But he popped it to short right. Greer. flied out, single, driven in a run, and hit into a double play. This has been a game in which the Tigers had some opportunities to blow it open early. They did not. Then they had some opportunities to close it down defensively late. They did not. And the Rangers have a 4-run lead. Rodriguez entering the game, getting a big RBI hit to start that 8th inning rally. Don't forget, a whole second game coming your way right here on HSE. It'll be John Detmer and Bill Gullickson. Fastball strike.
Suddenly, Tigers little doubleheader trouble here. Gullickson basically not in their rotation. Put back in for this game, has been pushed out by the emergence of Gore and the return to the active list of lefty Dave Wells.
Fouled into the stands. They have the strangest score on the board in the National League. Chicago and Houston. Chicago 2, Houston no number, and it's gone from the 5th inning to the 7th inning, and they've never put a number up.
In fact, that means a 0, by the way.
They ran out of zeros. Is that what they're telling us? 2 outs.
What a win this will be for the Rangers. And the much maligned bullpen will have gone 6 1/3 innings and given up the 1 run on the homer to Gibson.
I wonder what Sandy Koufax said.
Get Brown out of there, get Carpenter in.
Well, we're figuring they can't be out of zeros. Tom Soderley points out there's only 2 zeros on the whole scoreboard out there, so they just fail to recognize that Houston hasn't scored, huh? No balls in a strike.
No, they don't put up anything unless, at least in a lot of the games, they didn't. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, they kept showing the inning, never put the zeros up.
Well, that's a mistake.
Yes.
There's a strike. No balls, 2 strikes, maybe down to the final pitch, and a Ranger improbable rally from a 6-run deficit. Kirk Gibson is 1 out of 3. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's low. They'll build you all up to the big moment, but let's do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
On the other hand, the pitcher's in the right place when you had 0-2 in the 9th inning with 2 outs.
Wrap it up and put a ribbon around it. It's got Rangers written all over it. The Rangers come from behind and win it 10-6.
Greg, this is the kind of win that can sometimes kickstart an entire team.
Especially when you get to play again right away. The momentum is still there, and let's see if it can carry over in game number 2. There's your hitting hero, Juan Gonzalez, a grand slam home run to put the Rangers on top in a 6-run 8th as the Rangers win it by a score of 10-6. We'll be back to recap this one in just a moment.
You've been flying Southwest Airlines for the lowest fares. Our planes are painted kind of funny, but they're the best birds in the air. It's time to finish all your drinks up. We're arriving at the gate on time. Be sure to keep your seatbelts fastened, or we'll ask you to step outside.
Just a reminder that you can fly Southwest Airlines for a song.
To soothe athlete's foot, to relieve the burning, the itching, Desinex does it. But to cure athlete's foot, to kill the fungus that causes it, Desinex does it. Only Desinex has UDA, proven to both soothe the itching and burning and cure even tough athlete's foot cases. To soothe and cure athlete's foot, Desinex does it all. And for jock itch, Cruex is the #1 cure. Cruex cures jock itch.
Hey, baseball fans.
HSE wants you to watch
The Rangers.
and the Astros.
So you can go coast to coast.
Coast to coast,
One lucky fan wins 2 trips.
2 trips,
Win a trip to New York
and to San Francisco.
to see the Yankees and Rangers.
And the Giants and the Astros.
The winner goes coast to coast for fantasy play-by-play.
All you have to do to win is watch the games.
Watch the games.
Just watch the Rangers.
And the Astros
To go coast to coast.
with HSE Baseball. The best team on TV.
The gateway to the gold opens. The U.S. Olympic Festival, where America's Olympic hopefuls will compete for medals. 3,000 athletes, 37 sports, 9 days, one magnificent city, all going for gold. The 1994 U.S. Olympic Festival in St. Louis, where our future stars will earn their stripes. Beginning Saturday night at 11 Central on HSE.
You're watching HSE, the best team on TV.
Texas Rangers baseball on HSE, brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. For that deep down body thirst, nothing works better than Gatorade. By your local Sherwin-Williams paint stores. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams, an official sponsor of Major League Baseball. By Coors Light, aged ice cold for that taste of the Rockies. Reach for the silver bullet, the right beer now. And by Southwest Airlines, offering frequent flights and low everyday fares, which is why flying Southwest Airlines is just plain smart. Rangers come from behind to win this one by a score of 10-0, scoring the last 10 runs of the ball game. Detroit scoring the first 6. It's 10 runs, 13 hits, no errors. The Rangers left 11. Detroit 6 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors. They left 8. Oliver winning his first major league decision and pitching just a third of an inning. Henneman, the losing pitcher, 1 and 2, though he gave up 4 runs and none of them were earned. Home runs by Gibson, his 14th. Canseco, his 23rd, and the big grand slam by Gonzalez in the 8th to win the ball game. And our star of the game, brought to you by Texaco, is in fact Juan Gonzalez. His 3rd grand slam home run of his career, his first game-winning grand slam of the season certainly, and his 13th home run, 12th home run of the year. Don't forget, we're not going anywhere. We've got more baseball from the ballpark in Arlington. Game 2 will be coming up next with the first pitch at about 9:25. We'll be back in a moment.
You're watching HSE, the best team on TV.
Hey, baseball fans.
HSE wants you to watch
The Rangers.
and the Astros.
So you can go coast to coast.
Coast to coast,
One lucky fan wins 2 trips.
2 trips,
Win a trip to New York
and to San Francisco.
to see the Yankees and Rangers.
And the Giants and the Astros.
The winner goes coast to coast for fantasy play-by-play.
All you have to do to win is watch the games.
Watch the games.
Just watch the Rangers.
And the Astros
To go coast to coast.
with HSE Baseball. The best team on TV.
The gateway to the gold opens. The U.S. Olympic Festival, where America's Olympic hopefuls will compete for medals. 3,000 athletes, 37 sports, 9 days, one magnificent city, all going for gold. The 1994 U.S. Olympic Festival in St. Louis, where our future stars will earn their stripes. Beginning Saturday night at 11 Central on HSE.
The 1994 Texas Rangers. These are exciting times. If you haven't been out to the ballpark in Arlington, you don't know what you're missing. What are you waiting for? It's a whole new ball game. And here's something else for you to look forward to.
Sunday, July 17th at 7:05, the Rangers take on the Toronto Blue Jays. All fans will enjoy the antics of the famous chicken presented by Albertsons.
The 1994 Texas Rangers. It's a whole new ball game.
This is the Rangers post-game show. A recap of today's game with stats, highlights, and scores from around the leagues.
Today's show is being brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. For that deep down body thirst, nothing works better than Gatorade. Now, back to the stadium for a wrap-up of today's game.
A reminder that promotional consideration is paid for more by Morrow Harmon's Fanfare, the sports fans gift shop with locations throughout the HSE region. And now a quick check of the American League scoreboard, Norm.
Oakland gets 5 in the first and bags Boston 6-3. That's 8 in a row for Oakland, and 14 out of 16. It's a final. Darling beats Trilicek. Seattle leads New York 3-2. This one is in the 8th. Johnson's gone. Solo homers by Dan Wilson and Dave Silvestri. Cleveland has beaten Minnesota 6-1. Blackjack Morris gets his 7th of the year. Scott Erickson the loser. Eddie Murray, Kenny Lofton homer. Baltimore and California in a real slugfest. It's 11-7 after 6. Amongst the homers this game, Palmeiro, others by Curtis. Davis, 2 by Salmon, 1 by Edmonds. Gomez and Hammonds also for Baltimore. Toronto, Mel Stottlemyre's son Todd is out pitching Kevin Appier 3-1 in the 7th. Jack McDowell snuffing out Milwaukee 6-0. That one's in the 6th. We're back with the National League scores after these messages.
Can't reach the beach, but Long John Silver's isn't far. Grab a beach, go mug and chill out where you are. Just $1.19, you can check out the sea. At Long John Silver's, you can refill it free. Grab an insulated beach go mug in 4 designs of the sea. $1.19 with any purchase. All summer long, you'll drink free. With beach go mugs, you can drink all you wish. At Long John Silver's, when you go fish. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The gateway to the gold opens. The U.S. Olympic Festival, where America's Olympic hopefuls will compete for medals. 3,000 athletes, 37 sports, 9 days, one magnificent city, all going for gold. The 1994 U.S. Olympic Festival in St. Louis, where our future stars will earn their stripes. Beginning Saturday night at 11 Central on HSE.
Hey, baseball fans.
HSE wants you to watch
The Rangers.
And the Astros.
So you can go coast to coast.
Coast to coast?
One lucky fan wins 2 trips.
2 trips?
Win a trip to New York.
And to San Francisco.
To see the Yankees and Rangers.
And the Giants and the Astros.
The winner goes coast to coast for fantasy play-by-play.
All you have to do to win is watch the games.
Watch the games.
Just watch the Rangers.
And the Astros.
To go coast to coast.
With HSE Baseball. The best team on TV.
One gentleman that was very important was Harvey Penick, who was obviously a very great teacher, but more importantly, Harvey knew how to treat people and won their respect in that manner.
Rangers have rallied to beat Detroit 10-6 here over in the National League. That score is wrong. That should be 4-2 Cincinnati. 4-2 Cincinnati over Pittsburgh, with the Buccos hitting bottom 9. Merced and Van Slyke have the 2 runs for Pittsburgh and solo homers. Atlanta and Florida have gone to the 10th, tied 3-3. Chicago, behind young Steve Traxel, shutting out the Astros 2-0. Sammy Sosa has his 17th for the Cubbies. Cardinals got 5 in the first for Rick Sutcliffe. 2 of them on a 2-run shot by Greg Jeffries. The 2 Colorado runs, a 2-run job by Charlie Hayes. Later tonight in the National League, Martinez and Burkett match up in San Francisco, West and Gross in Los Angeles, and finally the Mets throw young Bobby Jones against Bill Kruger, released by the Tigers, suddenly back in the Padres starting rotation. Greg has some last thoughts on this first game next.
Man, if Mike was here right now, he'd want to be like me, because I'm the man.
Yeah, you the man.
Ah, don't do this. This is my house. He'd be serving me.
Hey, I plead for that Gatorade.
I'm down.
Gatorade, the one with the minerals and energy, the energy and fluids are slamming the thirst inside of me. Gatorade, thirst quench, you gotta get me some.
Oh, where's my Gatorade?
Nothing slams a deep down body thirst better than Gatorade. Absolutely nothing.
How about some ball?
Oh, I can play this game.
Oh, he can't play that game.
Hi, this is Kevin Kennedy. In baseball, people know me as a no-nonsense manager. I only expect one thing from my ball players, and that's 100% effort all the time. That's why I can recommend Gary McKinney Toyota on Highway 80 in West Fort Worth.
Gary wants to do something special for his customers with a Happy Days sale. You can find great deals on over 800 cars, trucks, and vans with your no-hassle price right on the windshield.
So go visit Gary McKinney Toyota on Highway 80 in West Fort Worth and tell them the skipper sent you.
Get it moving.
Keep on moving. Oh, yeah. Come on. Sing it, sing it. Yeah.
And the Silver Bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
You're watching HSE, the best team on TV.
Before we put this game to bed, again, looking at the final score, Texas wins it over Detroit 10-6. The Rangers will not lose any ground. If Seattle holds on and wins their ball game, they'll still have at least a 2.5 game lead going into game number 2. The pitching matchup, it will be coming up shortly, and you'll get to see John Detmer, the young rookie, against Bill Gullickson, the old veteran. They're going to go head-to-head. We'll be back with the pregame commentary on this game in just about 10 minutes or so. So stay with us for more baseball from the ballpark in Arlington as the Rangers and the Tigers play Game 2 of tonight's doubleheader. Until then, this is Greg Lucas for Norm Hitzges, sending it to the master control where we'll see segments of baseball highlights from the pennant chase.
Watching the Rangers post-game show, a recap of today's game with stats, highlights, and scores from around the leagues. Today's show has been brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. For that deep-down body thirst, nothing works better than Gatorade.
Ford Probe GT has been called the most cost-effective rocket coupe. The best value in the hot sports coupe class. And the affordable master of multifunctional fun. Ford Probe GT, the most award-winning sports coupe in its class, is now even more affordable with 2.9% APR or special low lease terms. Ford Probe, an affordable front-wheel drive sports coupe. What a concept.
I really didn't want my husband to color his gray hair.
But then I discovered this, the hair coloring called Just for Men.
And now he looks better than ever.
Apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. No wonder 8 out of 10 wives prefer the natural Just for Men look to gray hair.
It's like you took off 10 years.
With Just for Men hair color. And now, new Just for Men color gel for the hard-to-color hair of mustaches and beards. Brush in, rinse out, just 5 minutes.
It is vitally important that we all support the Humane Society of the United States and its proposed ban on breeding dogs and cats. Too many dogs and cats are sentenced to lives of misery, and too many animals are sentenced to death because they are being bred without regard to reliable placement in responsible homes. It costs up to $100 to handle and euthanize one animal. Now, if we know that 8 to 10 million animals are killed annually, it's costing us, the taxpayers, more than $800 million a year. That's a staggering amount of money that we're paying in support of the suffering caused by irresponsible breeding. So starting right now, we have to stop this. We can no longer spend money to kill animals who never should have been born in the first place. We can't afford it on any level, ethically, morally, emotionally, or financially.
The defending world champion Toronto Blue Jays have been in last place for about a month now. The Jays' longest stretch in the cellar since back in 1986. Things looked especially bleak during a recent game in which anything that might go wrong did go wrong.
It's a strange sight indeed to see the Blue Jays out of the pennant picture. At least for now, thrown into the grips of a losing streak and in last place. A recent game against the Orioles struck home with a barrage of mishaps that seemed almost laughable, though hard to fathom.
Down the third base line, Sprague goes home and he hits Ronnie Smith.
Also heading home is Voigt. He's in. The ball will go over to the seats. Heading home is McLemore. And he is safe, and the ball is dropped. And the fans are furious. The Toronto Blue Jays, the world champions, have done their 1962 Mets imitation.
Well, the Blue Jays may have just reached rock bottom, and there's only one way to go from there.
Now keep in mind, all these things happened in one game, much to the dismay of Blue Jay fans.
Now here is Pat Border. Look out. The bat ends up in the seats. There it is. Pat Borders was the man who lost the bat. Look out.
A rough day at the office, especially for pitcher Todd Stottlemyre and poor Pat Borders.
There's a high, soaring drive. Deep to left center. Huff is at the wall. He's under it now. Makes the catch.
No, there was a catcher's interference.
So the play
does not count. The umpire was going to wait and see. If it was a home run, he was going to let it go. But since the ball was caught, they called catcher's interference. The umpire sensed that it did hit, and you can see that
Hoyles is
telling him that. But Hoyles also thought he'd got enough of it to get out of here, and he didn't want to have it called back.
A three-peat seemed out of reach as this game came to an unmerciful ending.
Now, Sabo to second one. McLemore to first. Double play. The ball game is over.
Tough times for the Jays. And some of that bad karma must have also struck a certain rookie from Milwaukee. Matt Mieske, a rookie for the Brewers, recently had a run of bad luck to think about. It seems the young outfielder can't catch a break. Like the saying goes, if Mieske didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. Take, for instance, a game against the Yankees when Mieske got bogged down, hitting the ball hard, but being rewarded with outs.
Perez 1-0 pitch, grounded in the same spot. This time Boggs making a rolling catch and throws Mieske out. He bunts, pretty good bunt to third. Boggs bare hands and throws him out. Good play. It looked like a base hit when it left the bat.
Matt figured it was time for a change of fortune. But alas, the fates can be quite fickle. This time, Paul O'Neill got the lucky bounce.
Last time it was a bunt. This one's hit to right. Paul O'Neill goes back and has to play it off the wall. Mieske going for two. The throw by O'Neill. He's out of there.
After a rough series in New York, Mieske figured he was due for some better hops when the Brewers bounced to Baltimore. But Matt's bedeviled bat seemed to find leather yet again, this time to a third baseman in the outfield.
In the air to right, Sabo toward the line, into the corner, Chris. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. They throw back to second, and Valley is out at second base.
Milwaukee's Matt Mieske, singing the rookie blues. Now time for our Brute Comeback of the Week. Jeff Bagwell belted 2 home runs in 1 inning, then came back in the same game to go deep yet again.
Bagwell makes a bid. Could it be? 3 home runs in the game for Jeff Bagwell. Now it's 6 runs batted in and 23 home runs for the year.
The Olympic Fest heats up in St. Louis with coverage of athletics, swimming, diving, wrestling, boxing, volleyball, and basketball. Future stars earn their stripes at the U.S. Olympic Festival, beginning tomorrow night at 11 Central on HSE.
HSE is going to the dogs at Houston's own Gulf Greyhound Park. Take an inside look at the exciting world of greyhound racing from the starter's gate to the finish line. Tuesdays at 4:30 on HSE.
Air and water
are the fluids of life. We know now that we are poisoning the air we breathe, as well as the water we drink or we use for irrigation. Rainforests are rapidly disappearing. But who is going to pay for the mistakes? Our descendants, innocent kids belonging to future generations.
Pennant Chase was brought to you by Brute. Brute, men are back.
Take the Sevilla Archrocker 382.
First, just let me slip on this little beauty.
Don't bother. Consumer Reports rated this one highest in shock absorption and support.
Consumer Reports.
It's the magazine that arms you with brand names, model numbers, facts, and figures to make smart buys every day. So you need to read it every month. Your subscription's just a toll-free phone call away. Subscribe and get 12 issues, including the April Auto issue. You'll also receive as a bonus the 1995 Buying Guide, all for only $22. Plus 2 free books, the 1994 Buying Guide and How to Clean Practically Anything. That's a $65.80 value for just $22. You save 66%.
Hi. Yeah, where's your Panasonic CTP 3180SF?
Ah, Consumer Reports?
Consumer Reports.
They're right over here.
Great.
Consumer Reports once a month makes you one tough customer.